The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. On a Sabbath, Jesus went to dine at the home of one of the leading Pharisees, and the people there were observing him carefully. He told a parable to those who had been invited, noticing how they were choosing the places of honor at the table. When you are invited by someone to a wedding banquet, do not recline at table in the place of honor. A more distinguished guest, more than you, may have been invited by him. And the host who invited both of you may approach you and say, "Give your place to this man," and then you will proceed with embarrassment to take the lowest place. Rather, when you are invited, go and take the lowest place, so that when the host comes to you, he may say, "My friend, move up a higher position." Then you will enjoy the esteem of your companions at the table. For everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, but the one who humbles himself will be exalted. Then he said to the host who invited him, "When you hold a lunch or a dinner, do not invite your friends or your brothers or your relatives or your wealthy neighbors, in case they may invite you back and you have repayment. Rather, when you hold a banquet, invite the poor, the crippled, the lame, the blind, because blessed indeed will you be because of their inability to repay you. For you will be repaid at the resurrection of the righteous." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
The word humility appears in all our readings today. Jesus tells the people to be humble when you are invited to a feast. Do not take the exalted seat. And the first reading advises us on how to live our lives. Humility says. But we also know that in our age of today, in this generation, humility is not one of those words that we enjoy talking about. We look down on people who are humble, those who are lowly. We think of them as powerless. We think of them as not wealthy. We think of them as not being able to do anything. We really look down on people who are humble because we do not cherish humility. Because today we want to be known, we want to be recognized, we want people to applaud us, so that whenever we appear in a crowd, everybody recognizes who we are. Even some of us in our vehicles that we drive today, we change the exhaust pipe, put in a louder one, so that when we pass, the whole place will pop, 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 everybody knows we are passing. What does the Lord tell us about humility? He says to us, "Learn from me, for I am meek and humble of heart." He says again, "I came to serve, not to be served." Remember at the Last Supper what he told the apostles. He said, "You call me Lord and Master. Yes, I am. But here am I washing your feet." In so many ways he taught us about humility. His birth alone, that the Son of God was born of this lowly virgin in a manger, in a place meant for animals. Remember, his first visitors were the animals, the man and the moon. They were those who visited him first. And the book of Philippians tells us that even though Jesus was in the form of God, he did not cling to equality with God, but lowered himself And being humble, and yet he accepted death on a cross. Because of it, God raised him high and gave him the name above every other name. When we are humble, we attract people to ourselves. When we are haughty and proud, people avoid us. Nobody likes to go with a proud person. No. People like to associate with those who are not only contented with their lives and everything, but who are accepting of people. Whereas those who are haughty keep people away from them. I want to tell you two stories. One of them is, there was an accident involving two vehicles. One was coming this way, the other one was coming this way. This one wanted to turn that way, that one that way, but they did not give themselves enough space, and therefore their vehicles ran into each other. In one of them was a very senior police officer in uniform, with all the badges and rank everywhere. In the other vehicle was a very poor woman. So the police officer came up. Do you know me? Do you know what I can do to you? You have damaged my vehicle. I will deal with you. The woman bent down and collected some sand on the ground. He said, "Sir, this is what you are. You are dust and ashes." The policeman was shocked. He never expected that kind of reaction. He just looked at this woman. After some time, he jumped back into his vehicle and drove off. She has taught him a lesson without using so many words. He taught him to be humble. Yes, this is an accident. Who you are does not change the fact that this is an accident. Threatening me does not change the fact that this is an accident. The second story is about Dan Schuler, the famous Miami Dolphin coach. One year he decided that he and his family will vacation in northern Maine. He thought nobody would know him there. He will have all the time at his disposal to stay with his family. So they were in this very remote area. They decided to go and watch a movie in the nearby theater. As they walked in, he and his family walked in, the people in the theater clapped and clapped and clapped. So he thought they were clapping for him. So he was acknowledging them. You know, one of the men came up to shake his hand. So Dan Schuler said to him, "How do you know me in this remote place?" The man with a very rustic voice, I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are. What happened was that the manager of the theater came out 2 minutes ago and told us that unless 4 more people come in here, there will be no movie today. So when you came in, we were very happy. Dan was so embarrassed because he thought they knew him. He thought he was, famous. He was so embarrassed about it that he was telling people about this experience. That is to say, don't think too much about yourself. The question we may ask ourselves today is, why must we be proud? Is it what you have? Is it what you have acquired? Paul says to us, what have you that you have not received? If you have received it, why must you behave as if you have not received it? Maybe because of the position you occupy today, you are proud. Ask yourself, am I the first person to occupy that position? Think of any position on earth today. You can never be the first person. Somebody has been there before you. And after you, there are the other people. Is it your achievement? What you have been able to achieve? Are you the first person? You know, we may say, oh, the person who developed cellular phone has made a great achievement. But he was not the first person to work on it. People in past years have developed something and he built on it. So there is nothing you can achieve today that will make you puff off and say, I am the greatest in the world. No, you are not. You are only falling in line with the people of the past. That is to say, there is nothing today we should be proud of. No. Don't think you are something special. Don't think you have achieved anything that nobody has. Or is it your house? The wonderful house you have built. When you leave your house and go to the Hamptons, you begin to see houses. And then you see that your own house looks like, what do I call it now? What do I call your house? Is it a chicken, chicken coop? No. You know, last time I was telling you about a man who has so much money, has built so big a house, then suddenly he died. Everywhere he covered with dust. I don't think there will be anything that should make us so proud that we look down on people. But remember this, those you think are nothing, are nobodies, may know more than you do. They may know more than you do. This is another experience, it happened. That's why I tell the stories. There was this man, he was connected with those who were somebody in society in this particular state. So he was looking for a job. One of them gave him a note to go and see somebody in an office who had authority to employ him. Because he knew the high-ups, when he came to this office, he was so rude to everybody. He was very rude. Unfortunately for him, the man he came to see was not in office that day. So his clerk collected the letter and his file and the, what do you call them now? Resume and everything. Collected them. And because this man was so proud, what the clerk did was to raise the carpet where the big official sits, raise the carpet under his seat and put the file underneath it. So the man came after some days to check on the application. The official asked them to produce the file. The clerk says the file is in this office. It's in this office. They searched everywhere. They could not find the file. Then something happened. This man went to the bathroom, washed his hand, but he did not turn the tap off completely, so the office was flooded. So when they called the cleaners, they were removing everything from the office, and then they saw the file under the carpet. What am I trying to say? Nobody is unimportant. Therefore, do not look down on anybody. Each of us is important. But we should not carry ourselves as if the world depends on us. Whatever you are doing today, whoever you are today, whatever you have achieved today, remember, it is by the grace of God. If you doubt me, look back on your days in the primary or the high school. Were you the most smart human being there? Were you the smartest human being in your classroom? Or were you the most beautiful human being in your classroom? No, you might not have been. Where are those other people? Some of them are gone. Why are you here today? Is it by your power? Is it by your achievement? No, it is by the grace of God. My point is this. Do not look down on people, Be humble. In fact, the more you rise in society, the more humble you should be, so that those who come to you will leave you with an impression that this is a nice person. If you are so nasty, people come around you, they want to run away. You have a big, big problem.